Okay. All right. So what I like to do when it is a real market, a good strategy that I like to use with binary is I like to, of course, know what the news is doing. So I check the news. Then I also look at I actually look at the strengths of the actual currency pairs that I'm trading on binary. Are you familiar with that? The actual heat wave. It's called heat wave. So heat wave is an app. Currency heat wave is an app that shows the different currency pairs and the strengths, because that's really what it all amounts to when you're trading a currency pair. I'm not sure. Do you trade currency pairs? Do you trade indices on binary? Do you trade stocks on?
So so with OTC, usually I trade the stocks because they're higher paying out. Um, and then I will trade currencies, and I also will trade like gold and stuff like that. It just really, it's just really about seeing, you know, which market is actually giving, making me feel like it's doing something that fits whatever it is that I'm trying to do. But I go to, in order, I go to the stocks first. Um, then I might slide over and see what gold and silver are doing, or I might go to the currency pairs. But I trade on Quotex a lot more than I do pocket options, but I do have both platforms, and I do have money on both platforms. I just like Quotex a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I would have you done a withdrawal out of Cortex?
If I ever withdrew, no.
No.
I've well, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, not Quotex. I've withdrew from pocket options, but not with Quotex.
Okay, so here's my thing with these different brokers. Cause see, and that's another thing that I did too. When I started to learn, trading, I went into different brokers and actually used them. Rant. I would, and what I would do is I would use different brokers, that a strategy that I have and still have to this day. If a broker would pay out, right? Because a lot of brokers, they stall on paying out. When it comes to people that really make big money inside, these things. Because what I did um I will make a deposit, because so a lot of these brokers, they'll tell you that they will give you a percentage back on your deposit. So of course I'm big on using other people's money to run it up, right? So so that's what I would do. I would put in a deposit, maybe of $300, and they maybe gave me an extra $1,000 to trade on my account. So a lot of these brokers that I would actually go to, I would actually, run, pretty much do that. And of course, they had rules and stipulations on withdrawals. Once if you get the bonus, and so that's
Yeah,
why
I don't ever do the bonuses.
so you don't ever do the bonuses. So that's even better. But I just like I say, I was on the more of a you use somebody else's money, to actually fund the account or build the money up, and then withdraw what I need to draw from the balance. And and that strategy worked so far. But a lot of brokers, they do upgrades and they stall on doing withdrawals, and then they're like, because I was on race options. Race options was the one that I really stuck to, because I was the one I was doing withdrawals from the most from. So when I do the first withdrawal, after I do that, I'm pretty much using their money anyway. So I really didn't have to put. I really got my $300 back. Plus I got me extra $2,500 at the account. Off of using their money. So that's the mindset that I went into the market as when I was getting into the binary option side of things. So yeah, it's good that that you actually don't take their money, so you don't have stipulations. But sometimes they still stall with you on the withdrawals. And one thing I did learn about pocket options is they don't stall on the withdrawals. Pocket options, you get your money same day. Sometimes within 15-20 minutes. You
Yeah,
know,
the guy that actually convinced me to give Quotex a chance, he that was one of his stipulations. I mean, he does big withdrawals,
okay.
and he's never had a problem with Quotex, and so that's kind of why I started to even. I only have like I started with small. I started like $25,
Mhm.
and so I've gotten over 100, and then lost it doing too much.
Right.
So I mean, but that was my fault. Um, but I'm back down to like I think I've got like 40 in there. So, but I mean, I didn't start with a whole lot because, I was kind of skeptical with it. Even though he showed, his withdrawal process and, records, how long it took to get his money and all that. Like it's never,
Mhm.
like you said, it's never taken him, more than a couple of hours maybe, um, to get
Okay.
his stuff. And so, yeah,
Okay.
that's why I even gave it a chance.
Okay, I might have to go check that out too as well because that's really what I'd be looking for. I mean, even if they do give bonuses, I would take the bonus because I already
Yeah,
know that.
they do the bonus. They do a lot of the things that Pocket Option does, but there's some other benefits to Pocket Options, like they have the safe, and they have a couple other things that Pocket Options that Quotex does not have yet. But I like both platforms for kind of different reasons.
Right,
But they both kind of have similar features. Um, it's just to me the um I don't know, Cortex just it looks a little cleaner, if that makes sense.
right. Okay, I can understand that.
There, there's more ways for me to take like this stuff on the side, on the left and the right. On Quotex, there's ways for me to make that not even there, to where all you only see the chart and you only see
Right,
the put and call button and the percentage payout, and that's it. You don't see none of the other stuff. So it's a
right.
little, you can make it a little bit cleaner, but other than that, I mean, they're basically very similar. And like I said, they don't have any issues. Also with Quotex, you can change your little background. So if you want to put a picture of you and your wife and kids, or
Yeah.
your vision board or whatever, you can use that as your background instead of the little mountains or whatever it is on Pocket Options.
Interesting. Interesting. I might have to look into that because, like I said, I use different brokers, and I've been running into brokers that just been stalling on withdrawals and stuff like that. So I
Yeah, I
have,
stay away. I stay away from like the binary cents and the race options and
yeah,
all of those. Like if you can't give me a free, my one of my first requirements is if you don't have a free demo that I don't have to deposit to you in order to use, then we can start talking. But with like binary cent and all those type of, you have to deposit to get a fucking demo. Like that doesn't make sense. Like why would I deposit you real money and then go play with fake money? Like that,
right,
make
right, right,
make it make sense.
right. That's a fact.
So I've done my due diligence. I'm a big, like, go and Google it, go and YouTube it, because a lot of this we live in the information age. A lot of this
Right,
information is out there, and so go look up, whatever this platform is, and see what people are saying about it, see how they feel about it, their pros and the cons of using it before sending them money. And I'm a very big follower of that. Like I said, I didn't just jump into Quotex because the dude that was teaching me at the time said to do it. I went and YouTube University the fuck out of it. I went and
mhm,
asked other people that were using it. Like
right,
I wasn't just gonna blindly follow just because you said so. And even though I know the dude is a good dude and he knows what he's doing, it doesn't matter to me, because at the end of the day, what you do may not be good for me.
right,
So, you know what I'm
right,
saying? So I need to feel comfortable with it. Not I need to know that you feel comfortable with it. That's a
right,
beginning. That's a
right.
beginning, but that's not the end all be all. But I'm gonna let you continue on, because we're cutting into our little 30 minutes it got for me here.
Well, man, it usually runs over to about an hour and some change when I got these things, man. So I don't stick it to the 30, man. Um,
Okay. All
yeah, I
right.
don't, I don't stick it to the 30 because
I
we
don't
be
want I don't want to talk too long though, because
no,
I get
no,
to
no, man. Just like I say, this ain't just. I ain't just about hardcore business. Now I like to know who you are, type of person you are, all that stuff, man. So yeah, forgive me if I stretch it out. You know what I mean? Because I just be listening. Because just like I said, I'm here to listen to people because people be going through some things, and you know what I mean. It's just
I could talk trading all day, so you ain't gonna bother me about going
no
over it.
doubt.
So
No doubt. I'm a pretty basic trader when it comes to trading binary, when it comes to trading, Forex. So I trade a lot of zones, right? So I don't really. I mean, people get like I say, people get into the indicators and all that, but and the only reason I'm on, the here showing you, I usually am on Trading View, but just like I say, Trading View is not. I guess I could go to the Bitcoin side and show you how I will actually mark up Bitcoin and then how I will execute. But what I usually do is trade from zone to zone or off of indicators when it's binary and it's short times. So what I have on here is the moving averages. So the moving averages are pretty much like pullbacks for me. And on the green one is the 50-yard line. So the 50-yard line is what I use for, halfway pullbacks. But as you can see, it's been stuck inside the zone. So I really look at the zones and where they are with the indicators with this strategy. And when I'm trading actually currency pairs during the week, when the actual currencies are alive, I use the currency heat wave to see what the actual which one's going to be pulling towards which way. But as you can
so
see, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm
real
listening.
quick, real quick. So by 50-yard line, are you saying that the green EMA is the 50 moving average, and is it exponential? Is it simple? Is it weighted? What are
It's
we talking?
exponential, the exponential moving average.
Okay, so it's a 50 exponential.
Yes, 50
All right.
exponential. And how I usually compare it. What are you familiar with, like Fibonacci and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what I do is if you put the Fibonacci on your highest high and your lower low of that box, majority of the time it's gonna meet in the middle with that 50. That's why I call it the 50-yard line as well, because it meets with the Fibonacci and it meets with the EMA. So it's the EMA. So exponential.
Right. So the white is what?
The white is a 20.
20, and then the red is what?
The 20 the red is a 200.
200. All right. Okay.
And
Then you
two and
got the
so
RSI down on the. Okay, I see you. Okay.
Yeah, with the RSI. So, we of course you're looking at how to do the RSI or whatever. But what I do use heavy on a lot of them are the 50 and the 200, because the 200 is I've seen this the strategy with stocks as well. A lot of big hitters, use the 50 and the 200, because when the 50 actually crosses the 200, that's when it's actually going to go on the uptrend. So it's a real strong zone. How I like to tell people why I use the 200, because if it goes to the 200, if it doesn't break the 200, it's gonna bust. It's gonna bounce off the 200. So so that's why I like to see that's even in Forex too. When I see like a daily chart or something like that, if I'm looking on the daily chart and the daily is by the 200 or something, like we know when the daily, that's going to be a long-term trade on the Forex side, because it's going to buy off that 200 pretty much. But yeah, so I like to go off of zones, and when it breaks zones, of course, then we're in a full-blown buy. And then until then we're looking for buys. And if you look, every little red candle, it pushes up. So that's pretty much the pullback. And then it never falls below. So the other thing I have on here as well is the Bollinger Bands. So Bollinger Bands, why I like to use the Bollinger Bands is because it actually shows the high and the lower low as well. So
So what are you using default settings on the Bollinger?
yeah, I'm just using the default settings on the Bollinger.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really set it to any other times. But what I do is I just look to see, where did it pull down to. So majority of the time it's gonna pull down to this blue line right here, and it's not gonna break that blue line. When it does break that blue line, you're looking for a sell after it breaks that blue line. But then when it does break that blue line for a sell, you always know that the indicate that it's gonna always pull back to the indicators. So where these lines are low, eventually, sometime today, they're going to be right back onto these lines, hugging these lines pretty much, because they don't, the price doesn't really stay too far away from the indicators. But as you can see, it's still in the uptrend, even with the two for the pullback. So this pretty much was a pullback, but then it was a fake out to see if somebody was gonna get into a sell. See, and then it continues to go up.
So what is the time frame that you usually do your expiries for?
This is the 3 minute. I know you said 1 to 3 minutes, so I'm not going anything over 3 minutes for you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't do anything more than three, and I've really been trying to stay around one, one or
Stay
two.
around one.
Like
And see, I even got down to where pocket options was letting me do 15 seconds, man.
they
And
they they've got as low as five, but I haven't figured out something that makes sense that's technically based that would allow me to do something that short. I would like to get into like the 30-second maybe range. But I think like the lower you go, the harder it is to use um, indicators and stuff like that to justify your your
yeah,
confluences. You know what I'm saying? Like you
right.
don't because by the time that because they're lagging, so they're behind the actual price action. So when you go to lower expiries, then you're not really giving it time to really catch up with what price is actually doing. And so, um, not that I haven't tried, because like a guy not too long ago showed me a 10-second one,
Uh-huh.
but it it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. And then so I needed to when I trade because I'm been doing around the industry so long, like I don't need indicators because I can see what a chart is doing just naked, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I like to have the added confluences to say, okay, yes, this might be a true good area, especially when you're talking about 10 and 30 seconds. I mean, it's just I mean, it's gambling either way, but I mean, I'd like to take the higher percentage of
Mm-hmm.
probability
Mm-hmm.
and then lose, but understand why I lose because I didn't pay attention to this or I didn't give this as much weight because I thought I saw this, and so that's kind of my thought process. Is I'm not against the shorter time frames. I just need something that is a little bit more concrete of why and you should and shouldn't do X, Y, and Z, and kind of why, if you won, why did you win, as well as why as you lost. Most people don't care why they win, but I think that's
Mm-hmm.
a dangerous mindset. You have to know why you win and you have to know why you lose, so that way you can um, learn from the market either way.
Right, right. So with that being said, I actually use when I'm on the 15. When I was winning on the 15 second, I didn't stay because 15 second was like Russian roulette. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I was trading on the 15 second, because I found out that you could, and it placed a trade on the 15 second, and I didn't really mean to do it on the 15 second. I think I meant to do like 15 minutes, I believe. But it didn't do 15 minutes, it did 15 seconds. And it's like I blinked and I won the trade. I was like, what the heck just happened? So I started looking at the 15 second a little bit more. So I ran it all, I ran a nice percentage up just by looking. And what I do is that strategy was more just like you say. All you got to do is pretty much look at the candlesticks, man. Just like you said, we don't really need any indicators or anything like that. We can see what price action is doing. So we read the candlesticks. So I trade with do that with the 15 second time frame as well. Trade per candlestick. Don't trade looking at a trend or something like that. You can't look at a trend when you're starting to lower those time frames. Um, because it goes every which way pretty much. But looking at the different zones is how I trade. It's finding the higher highs, the lower lows, and pretty much trading in between there, on forex and options trading.
So right now, what minute time frame are your candlesticks?
These are what these are three seconds. Yeah, 3 minutes. So
So
yeah,
each candlestick is three. 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, each candlestick is 3 minutes, and then on down to 15 seconds and stuff like that. But yeah, each these
Right.
candlesticks are 3 minutes. So, and another thing that I also I'm also good with as far as doing the candlesticks is when you do see like a pullback or something like that. Getting in for when it does the pullback and not just getting in because it's the end of that 3 minutes or the end of that 5 minutes, right? Just knowing where it's gonna go. So in this entry right here, I probably would have got in, when it was pulling down. I probably would have got in when it was pulling down, and then going away because we know it's already uptrend. It's going in an uptrend because it broke out of this box. So until then, I'm looking for the pullbacks and then the per candle. Well, and I guess you could say the minute would be the per candle, but I like to see what that candle doing. Like right now, we know it's in the uptrend. So put it in the expiration date down here. But But yeah, I just be looking for the red candles. They're looking for the green candles, really much, pretty much when it's going up. But yeah, I don't use any indicators. A lot of people that get on my trainings too, they be looking for the indicator, like they be looking for the indicators to just be their only confirmation, and because that's a lot of what these people are pushing. That, oh yeah, I got all these strategies, and it's with indicators, which yeah, the indicators work, but they don't tell them that you're gonna have to find the higher high, lower low in the zones first anyway. So I'll be lazy with the indicators. But
Yeah, yeah. Indicators are helpful, but people that are looking for the holy grail of indicators to just be, like you said, be the end all be all of their confirmation, they usually end up continuing to look for the holy grail because it doesn't exist, which is why you got to learn how to read price action, which is just the candles by themselves, which is something that I can do. But my concern, especially with OTC, is that they do and don't follow the same thing than the actual live market does. And so price action on OTC is a little bit different. And so it's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's kind of hard, but it's just different. So because sometimes on OTC it'll do shit that doesn't make sense.
mm-hmm. And half the time half the time when it doesn't make sense, it usually don't make sense when you're in that trade too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
like,
like
yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah, but and that's not really just OTC. Well, OTC on pocket on like option trading, yeah, but because that's how brokers are, period. Brokers will go against your trade right when you put it in because the broker is there to actually make money. So why would they let your trade go into the blues right when you get into the trade? So it's the same way with Forex, whereas they go against the trade as soon as you get into the trade, you be like, well, why did it all pull all the way down here? Like when we know it was gonna pull down there, but then right when you get into that trade, it wants to pull down there. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, these brokers are too hilarious when it comes to that, man. That's why it's this really, just like you say, it's gambling pretty much because like you really don't know what these markets are gonna do, whether it be OTC market or whether it be, the regular markets.
Looks
So
like that buy didn't work out for you.
you see that, right? And I put extra on it.
uh
And I put extra on it. So we got to see if it's gonna break this or is it just faking down here? I'll just be faking down here. Yeah, but let's get matter of fact, I'm gonna email you that those templates for your Yeah, actual.
Do you ever mess with those little copy signal things?
Um, I don't really do those copy signal things because to me personally, I think those copy signal things be a setup to lose money.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I
I
think.
just want to make sure that I'm not the only conspiracy theorist out here.
Oh no, no, you talking to the biggest. Like my parents to this day are saying that I'm the biggest. Oh, you're big. Oh, you're big. You're thinking kind of crazy. Like yeah, I'm the one to. I'm just there one to think crazy like that, man. It's just like it's just work. This is the type of world that we're living in, but people don't believe, man. People don't believe that
Oh,
we
I
actually.
believe I've been in this world long enough to know there's always an ulterior motive.
Exactly. Yeah, but here goes the what the trade plan looks like. It's called the trade journal.
Also, it's Lobo, not Libo.
I did that. I saw that when your name popped up. I
I
I
like
know he's gonna correct
we
me. I
know
know he's gonna correct
Lebo.
me.
What the hell?
I know Lebo, man. What the heck, man? Nah, I apologize for that as well, man. I knew you was gonna
It's
correct
all
me with it
good.
though. I was
It-
waiting on
it-
it.
it's all good. But yeah, my name in English translates to wealthy wolf.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it means.
Wealthy Wolf, man. That is dope, man. And where you actually from? Like originate from? Where's your culture from?
I'm Puerto Rican, Native American, and African American. Originally from Philly, so and I live in the Midwest now.
Okay. You believe in all the African American stuff?
I mean, yes and no because we originated from Africa, right? Right, but we were here before the slave trade, and they don't teach that, but it's very true. We were already here.
Exactly.
We were already living amongst. We were already. I mean, there were whole tribes of what they now call Indians
Uh-huh.
that were black. I mean,
Exactly.
the Seminoles, the some of the Cherokee, like were already were black. There's no if ands or buts about it. They were dark skinned. They had to. I mean, there's pictures of them.
Hmm.
So they were here way before the slave trade. Not saying that more weren't brought over and that whenever they captured them here, they didn't disperse them elsewhere and then bring them back. I'm not saying none of that happened, but we were already here. Europeans weren't the first motherfuckers to know how to use boats. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
They're the ones that get the credit for it, but they're not the only motherfuckers who knew how to do it.
Nah.
So, I mean, we built the pyramids for God's sake. I think we can handle a boat. I'm just saying.
Man, we built the pyramids. We built the pyramids with no infrastructure,
No new
no tool,
technology.
no real tools. Like it was just us, man. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can't tell me that a people that sophisticated couldn't figure out a fucking boat. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So yeah, but why I say African American is because I know that my root, I know where my roots come from, right?
Mhm.
But I was born in America.
Mhm.
I've never been outside of the states, unfortunately, um, and I've always lived here. So yes, I'm African American. I'm not. I'm not African because I wasn't born in Africa. My root is from Africa, but I was not born in Africa. Um, and I have different issues and theological beliefs behind
Hmm.
African American,
Hmm. Me
but
too.
it's
Me too. That's why I say it
but
gets deep, man.
but at the same time, it's a term that I don't have a whole lot of ill reservations about because I feel that both two of the same thing, two of one thing can be true. And so, yes, my root is African, and yes, I am American. So I don't really have an issue with that. So per se, but I'm very pale skinned because my father was pale, and then of course my mother was pale. So I'm very fair skinned. Um, but um, but yeah, I'm Puerto Rican and black, and uh, I've got Cherokee on my mother's side, and I've got Seminole on my father's side. So I'm actually more Native American than anything, which is why I'm so light skinned. But it is what it is.
Man, I'm telling you, the rabbit hole goes deep, man. That's why I asked you about that because I mean, I got beliefs about that too, and you know, what I'm saying I'm supposed to be full-blooded African American. You feel me? But I don't. Just like I say, the when Columbus came over here, they pretty much colonized us with race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It wasn't a
yeah,
race. We're not a race. We're a different species. You feel me? They
right.
teach you about species, but they don't look at humans as being their own species or calling them a species. They look at them as separating between different races and different ethnic groups and things like that because
So
that's how they work.
real quick question, Jeremy. I mean, not that it makes a difference, but I see that you wear the crest a lot on your head. Are you Muslim?
No, I'm not Muslim. I'm not part of the NOI. But I did get it from a fellow that is part of the NOI.
Yeah,
But
I was
I'm
getting
just
ready to
it's
say
like
usually that particular hat is NOI. So I had to ask.
right.
I was like, "Are you NOI? Wait a minute."
Right. No, no, not NOI, but just like I say, I'm not religious or anything like that. I'm more of a spiritual side. Because I believe that the religion when you tie into religion, that's how people
That's
get
when you mess
offended.
it up.
Yeah,
That's when you mess it
that's why
up.
people get offended because religion was created by them as well to actually
Separate
separate.
us.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so anything that
Control
was
and
meant to
separate.
separate us, they created, and but then just like I said, I don't knock anybody for their beliefs. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not.
And as far as the NOI is concerned, I respect them immensely because of what they've done for the African American community. I love the Minister Farrakhan. I love the way he speaks.
Mhm, mhm.
It's the beliefs of them specifically that as far as their religion, that kind of is where I do a separation of church and state. I'm like, nah, because they believe that Fard Muhammad was God on earth, and I'm like, see, that that is not Muslim. Muslims do not believe that. That's why I say that they are not true Muslims because there's so many things that they believe that are not backed by the Quran or anything that true Islam teaches. And the reason why I know this is because my uncle was Muslim. So
Right,
I'm very well versed in what true Muslims believe, and I'm very well versed in what NOI believes. And I don't have anything against them. It's just I don't I don't acknowledge NOI as or if the 5 percenters as true Islam because of the some of the things that they teach. So I was just wondering because I always see that you wear that, and I've never seen anyone wear that was not NOI or a five
right.
percenter. So
Right. And see, and that's what my guy that because I have a guy that's Muslim, yeah, and, so I started asking him questions because I mean, the reason why I wear it because it's considered a crown, right? And and
right,
and I like the symbolic of it being a crown. Now, when I found out that it was NOI, because the guy that I bought it from is part of NOI, 19 Keys. I started to realize and understand, what the other what the 5 percenters is to what do you talk about when they say the 5 percenters? Because see, the other guy he was explaining to me like if you don't know like certain stuff about the way the universe is aligned and stuff like that. Like you'll get a beat down like in your NOI. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know. And you was and if I was wearing that and I got tested or something like that, yeah, I mean, I heard about all that too as well. But I really just wear it for the symbolic meaning of it being a crown. Until I can create my own crown, with my own design on it, and that's what's about to go down this year. To symbolize the crown, not less long of NOI. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you winning this one? Because this on the thing it says you are, but on the chart it looks like you.
Man, I'm winning, man. Look, I got all these wins, but look, we going into a sell now, man. Remember I told you if it breaks this, look, it's going to these indicators. Then it did the M. I know
M's and W's, yeah.
Yeah, M's and W's. So now we going down to these indicators I told you it was gonna come back down to, right? So yeah, that's
okay. So you won those because it says closed. Okay, so you already won those, and it's okay. I got you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now we just looking for.
I forgot all about the trade.
See, and I already made my money back plus extra $50, man. What's up? Yes, sir, man. So
that's why I like the binary options, is because you don't have to manage the trade. Like once you're in, it'll take you out at the end of the time. I don't like the fact that you lose less than what I like when I trade Forex, I at least want a 1-to-1 ratio, preferably a 1-to-3. But at least with 1-to-1, you get back or you add on the exact amount that you put in, where with binary options, even at 92%, it's less than the full dollar. So
right.
I don't like that, and I don't like that. I've been in trades where it'd be a minute long, and I'm winning the trade the whole 58 seconds, and the last second it just drops on me, or the last 10 seconds it just drops on me, it takes me out and then goes back up. Like that's irritating.
Well, that's the broker. That's the broker doing that. That's automatic broker that does that. That right when you're losing trade, everybody, it does that to everybody. So it's not just you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. And then it decide. But that just gives the broker a time to decide whether they want to pass that trade or not. So it's still into the broker's hands, and that's why when you lose, either don't chase the trade or follow the trade plan you got set up. Because right. I had a client that I already know when my students hit load their real money inside their account. I had a client just load his real money inside his account, but I didn't hear nothing from him after he loaded it. And I said, see, when I don't get a call after I help them load the account, I already know what time it is. So I already had in my mind that I was gonna follow up with him on Monday. So he called me yesterday when I'm at this birthday party, and he's like, man, what's going on, man? I said, yeah, what's going on with you? I already know what he was calling me for. But I'll let him say his piece because this is his first time getting into trading, so he don't got no skin in the game, But I already know what he told me is he put $1,000 in, right?
God damn!
I know, yeah. He got big money to blow, man. I'm trying to tell you, but I'm trying to save these cats from blowing all this money because see, I blew a lot in the markets, so I don't want other people to come in. Huh?
I don't understand that mindset. I don't care if I'm a millionaire. If I don't know what I'm doing yet, I'm sorry. I'm not starting off with no $1,000.
Well,
I'm not. Even if I've got it, even if I've got, just money just sitting there in the bank, I'm not starting off with no $1,000, fam. I'm not. Not until I know what I'm doing. Like until I'm comfortable and confident. I'm keeping it under. I mean, probably 250 would probably be my max.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But just like I said, it all has to do with mindset because see my mindset. I don't care. Just like I said, I don't care how much money I got. I'd rather have $50 in the account because what I did with pocket options this week was pocket options gave me a free $25. I said, Oh, okay. So that free $25, guess what? I made about 250 off of that and I withdrew it. You feel me? And that's just how I do. I'll make my money, withdraw it, and I decide whether I want to trade. I deposit money if I want to trade again. But that was a free what $225 that I made off of pocket options just because they want to give me free money because and just like I said, that's what I thrive on, free money. So if you give me $25 and I put it and they put it in the account, I ran it up, I'm gonna withdraw my money because then just like I say, if you don't follow your trade plan, it's the greed that starts to happen.
So,
And
so quick question:
uh-huh.
when they gave you the 25, did you go in and immediately risk the full 25 to
No,
to to to
of
run it
course
up to
not.
225?
Of course not. No, no. Because
A lot of people do that. A
I,
lot of people do that.
the only time that I did that was when I would get money from somebody. When I would get money, if I would deposit money and get money, but this was more of a just a get money. And my mindset was different because I'm not gonna risk that whole 25 because of the broker. I already know about the broker. So what I did is I ran it up off of $7 trades.
Ah, I got you.
Yeah, ran it up off of $7 trades. Now I may have put maybe 5 to 6, $7 trades in at a time to run it up, but just like I say, when you confident with your trade, and then following your trade plan, if I lost something, I would stop trading, cool off for a little minute, go do what I need to do, and then hop back in a little bit later, with a different mindset. Because just like I said, when you lose it, you try to chase that junk, man, and it ain't good. So I fell back for a little while, then got back in, started trading again, got it back up because it's almost like every time you would make money, they would try to even it out to where you would break even. And I'm like, man, this is wild. So it's like I say, it's like they be playing a game with you, and it's always a mind game. You're not gonna win every trade, but then what are you gonna do when you make that loss? You gonna go in and so what I did, I just ran it up with $7 trades. And if you want to keep yourself off the radar with these brokers, just do smaller trades because, like you say, you could put $1,000 in, but that don't mean you got to do a $900 trade. You feel me?
Right. But I'm still not putting $1,000 in. I don't care. But so I do. My thing is, especially since both of my accounts are under. Well, my pocket option is not under 100, but I started both of them with under $100.
Mhm.
So I only do 1 to 3% of my account
Mm,
per trade.
mm.
So yes, my trades are small, but so is my account.
Right.
The
Exactly.
most that I've ever risked on a trade was I'm gonna be honest, and I do use a form of martingale when I lose. So like when I lose a dollar trade, I'll come back with two, and then if I lose that $2 trade, I'll come back with four. But after three losses, I stop. I don't mess with it no more.
That's a 3 loss.
So I do that. But other than that, like I know that my trade size is small. I think the most that I've ever did a single trade for was like $10 for one trade, and it was really by accident because um, I was on demo, making sure that the market was doing what I wanted to do, and I was seeing it correctly because I had several losses. So I came back in demo and was just trying to make sure that I was doing, seeing the shit right and doing the shit right, and I was recording it, and then I jumped over to live and forgot to change the amount.
Man.
But I won that trade. But I promise I took it right back down to my normal amount right after that because I promised that whole because it was a minute trade. That whole minute I was like, man, I'm gonna lose this whole $10.
This whole $10.
The whole $10. But
Yeah.
I barely won. And so yeah, but the whole time I was sitting there sweating. I was like, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. So now when I go in demo, I have the same exact amount trade that I would trade in my live accounts. I don't even play that no more. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that no more because if I forget again, I'm gonna be going through that same mess.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man.
So, do you have like a spreadsheet for like a compounding plan?
As far no, I don't have a spreadsheet on as far as a compounded plan. How I usually well when I first started compounding, I didn't just like I said, I never really had a spreadsheet. Never really set up a spreadsheet or anything. Um, I mean, I could get you a spreadsheet if that would help you out.
I've always kind of wanted one, but
One and one. Okay.
once I left, I've been a part of several of these MLM groups like I am Academy and Epic and
Oh
Tradera, and
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
so yeah, I've done that a couple of times. And so once I lost access to being a part of them, then I didn't have um, the the spreadsheets anymore to use. So I think it's a good tool. So that way you can kind of monitor. It's like you said, it's like another part of your trading plan. If you can sit there and monitor where you are in the compensation plan, it kind of gives you like the carrot in front of the donkey type of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, you can see that your account is growing, and that way you know when you can start increasing your wager size because your account size says you can, or if you're losing, it takes you to a new low. If you've gotten into higher wages, it sets you back. So it kind of keeps you honest. So I think for students, it can be a good thing, but of course you've got to stay diligent, and you've got to pay attention to it, and keep track to it. But yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
It's just um, a lot of people don't a lot of people don't stay true to it, and they don't monitor it, and they don't keep up with it, and they don't um, keep it up with their other parts of their trading. And I think that's the issue. But yeah, I think it's a good thing, like, to
Okay.
be able to see where you are in the process, and to see where your account is in the process, and allow the numbers to tell you what to do, instead of, oh, because I'm feeling it today, I'm on fire today, now I feel like jumping up to $10 fucking trades just because I feel like I'm on fire today and I
Right.
can't lose. Like, that's what I think a lot of people get into. So
The
I'd rather,
emotions.
yeah,
Yes.
the emotions, and I'd rather the numbers tell me, yes, it's okay to take a $10 trade today, or no, you're smoking that shit. Calm your nerves, pump your brakes.
Right. Bumpy break. You got some good shit in your pipe, man.
Yeah, just because you can doesn't mean you should, type of thing. So I'm very disciplined when it comes to that. I learned that. Thank God, I learned that early, to you know, not deviate. This is what you have in your account. You do not risk more than what you've that amount. I don't care if you're feeling yourself, or the market is just giving you trade after trade, and you're just 10 for 10 for the day. Like, the answer is no.
Just the goat
And
today, huh?
yeah, the answer is no. Not only no, but hell no.
Hell
And
no.
that's why I've never blown an account in binary options. Now, forex, that's a different story, but we won't go there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Forex is a different breed, man. Just like I say, that's why I like, and that's what attracted me to binary options as well, because the most thing that, well, just binary options, stock options, because it's like I said, it's an expiration date, right? Um, but in Forex, you're sitting there to just try to decide whether you need to get out a good trade, whether you need to stay in a good trade. There's just too many decisions you have to make inside Forex.
Yeah,
Whereas if it just and that's why the stop loss is there. Stop loss is there to do. It's like I look at the stop loss as an insurance policy to your money. You know,
right.
and
But a
and,
lot of
and
times, but a lot of times, you know, and this is where, I started. I never, knew this before, when I first came in, because retail doesn't teach it. But one of the reasons why I asked if you teach any smart money concepts is because it's something that I recently, within the last, I would say, year or so, that I've come into knowledge for, that these companies, these banks, these large investors, they're intentionally moving the market to your stop loss and then going back to the directions you thought it was going to anyway.
Exactly. So that veers you away from the stop loss, right? That
Yeah.
kind of veers traders away from the stop loss, knowing that they go to your stop loss.
Yeah. They
Yeah, but
go to it or right past it and then go back the other direction anyway.
exactly.
So you know, I knew that there was some bullshit in there, but I didn't know that there was like market manipulation. I was like, whoa, I started learning about that and I was like, oh, now it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you would have a certain area blocked off and you would think, okay, it gets to this area, I'm gonna be looking for a sell, and then you put it in there and it go up, and then be going against your stop loss or getting ready to go against your stop loss, and then you pull out, or the stop loss would pull you out, and then it would go for the sell almost 10 minutes later. Like, fuck out of here. So that's how
Exactly.
I lost my um account in Forex, is because of course you can lose more than you win if you stay in bad trades. And so um not that I'm against Forex, it's just I haven't figured out as easily how to manage my trades as I have with binary, because you don't have to worry about managing. Either it's going to win, lose, or break even. That's it. There's only three options. So, and it's such a short time frame. It just kind of works with my work schedule and everything, because I can trade while I'm at work, even though I don't really prefer to trade on my phone, but I can. But you know what I'm saying? That's why I like quote. I mean, binary options, just because I don't have to sit there and worry about checking my phone all day, and is it still in a positive? Do I need to pull out? Do I need to take partials? And I want to get to that. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want to be able to get to where I'm trading both, but I haven't had the the um
The time, pretty much,
the
right?
time to do it, and I
Right.
haven't had the success. Not that I'm super successful in binary options, but I haven't had the success in Forex. And because I've blown a couple of accounts, they were small accounts, but still they were blown. I'm trying to be a little bit more cautious about approaching that, and you know, just kind of keeping it to binary options at this point.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay, so you took the sell because it went under the 50, huh?
could sell because it went under 50, and it's gonna eventually sell, but look like I'm about to lose these trades right here. All right. And it's going. It's pretty much gonna be a green and
No,
a
it's not
red.
under the 50. The white is the 20, right?
20. Yes, that's the pullback. So that's the pullback area. So yeah, we're looking for a buy now.
So like how many trades do you take per session? Is it a percentage that you're looking for to win or to lose, or do you have I'm only going to take 10 trades for the day type of thing?
It just depends. I may take I take I call per trade one trade because I'm in the same zone. So that one trade that I'm thinking about, that area, one area that I'm in, I may do like 5 trades in that zone. So that's how I'm able to compound my account.
Got you.
So I may do like 5 trades on this session and then 5 trades on one session. If I win those trades, then I just stop trading and then come back to it a little bit later. But I won't trade 5 trades on this on in this area, and then after those win 5 trades on this area and then keep on going. I may, just like I say, section it off to a little bit later on down the road. So that's how I usually compound throughout the day, because just like I say, you got to give. I like to give the broker time to forget that I'm trading.
Got you.
That if that makes sense, because
Yeah.
just like you say that you could be up, but then the broker see you as over trading. Like the broker knows when you're over trading, and then
Right.
they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get them here, and you
So
did.
me and a friend was talking about that the other day. And it is in my opinion, it's not a popular opinion, that brokers would rather you win because they make more when you win.
Mm,
If you think about it, they make more when you win because if you're if you're making that dollar trade, right? Let's just use a dollar, and you're going to get that extra 92 cents back. You're going to more likely keep trading, right? You're going to keep at it. But
mhm,
if you're losing, you're only losing that one, and it's going to push you to losing more, right?
mhm,
So eventually you're going to quit. So my thought process is, as a broker, they would rather you be winning because you're going to keep putting money into their account and putting money in their platform than it is to keep you losing. So, not saying that they don't sometimes, make sure that you do both, but what I'm saying is that it's more, in my opinion, it's more beneficial to them to keep you winning or to allow you to win, more often than not, than it is to keep you, especially a new trader, to keep you losing. Because if you're a brand new trader and you're just losing, 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 you're going to say, "Oh, this is a scam," and I'm done. But if you're 70%, 80%, 60%, you're gonna look at that as, I'm net profitable, so I'm gonna keep at it. So to me, is I think that they're on a little bit different shit because, again, I think differently. So I'm on a more of a conspiracy type. Okay, what makes more sense? Keeping more customers paying or more customers leaving? So that's my thought process on it.
well, good thought process. Well, here's my thought process on it. So, you know, just seeing people who do lose, what do they want to do? They want to win. So what do they do? They go make another
Overtrade.
deposit.
Yeah,
And every time you make a deposit in the broker, they make money.
yeah,
So my mindset is, because if they got a trader like me that's gonna withdraw my money right when I make them profits, they're gonna be eyeing my account a little bit more. And I've seen that happen too. I've had it where I withdrew my money, and then continued to trade on the money that I had in my account, and then eventually I lost all that money that was in my account. You know what I'm saying? So
got you.
eventually I had already took out a big chunk from them. So they were like, well, he's not gonna make more on us. So it's like I say, man, it's just really nothing you it really can't predict it. Can't predict what's gonna go on, because you never know how they're thinking. But
Right.
yeah,
Like I said, they playing both sides of the fence. I'm not saying that they're not,
right.
but um, it's just I think that they would want you to, what I mean, continue to trade, what I mean, in a happy sense versus a revenge sense. But they know that people are going to do that too. So that's why I said they play both sides of the fence, and they're going to get money regardless. But it just, to me, it makes more sense for them to keep inducing you to play versus giving you reasons not to play.
Right.
Because eventually, a person that's losing, 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 at some point is going to say enough is enough, unless they have a real problem.
Hey, I do have a real problem, man. Like just like you said, like especially those ones that get into trading, and it's just like, they're already tied up because they're gamblers. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what they do at the gambling table is what they go do in this market, and that's pretty much what the brokers be looking for when they when they're getting clients, obviously, because they're gonna be the Russian roulette ones are gonna be the ones that's going to be depositing, 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 and they're just going to be taking, 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 taking.
Well,
Not really
and
learning from
I
their
guess I
mistakes.
guess that's why binary options works for me because I'm not much of a like when I go to when and if I do go to the casino, I play the very best games to play, the ones that have even or close to even odds. I don't mess with the slots. I don't mess with none of that. I play blackjack. I play poker. I might play Russian roulette. Um, I play um, some table games, depending on what they are, but they're usually um, poker related because it's something that I enjoy playing.
Okay.
Um, but other than that, like all like the slots and all that, I might get on the penny slots. Like when my first time to Vegas, I didn't know that they allowed you to drink for free while you were gambling. So I'm sitting there at the penny slots, and I'm with this girl that I was dating at the time, and I'm just over there in the area because I had already, kind of spent whatever money that I was going to spend for that day, and I really didn't want to. We were going to go to some other casino on the strip or whatever, and I was just kind of sitting and waiting on her. So the waitress came over, and she was at the bathroom, so I was kind of holding her spot. And so she was like, do you want a drink? And I was like, what do you mean a drink? You mean like soda, juice? Like, what do you mean? She was like, no. Would you like? She was like, yeah, I could bring you that, or I could bring you, an alcoholic drink. And I was like, kind of looked at her confused, and I was like, do I gotta pay? I was like, I've already spent my money. She was like, no, 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 no. Like, if you're gambling, if you're playing, you can drink for free. And I was like, I can order anything I want. I could order the top shelf of the top shelf and you would bring it to me for free. And she was like, yeah.
Oh
So, yeah, needless to say, I had a hangover for the next 3 days that we were there.
man. That's hilarious. Oh man.
I was just in the penny slots, just, you know what I mean? Just bring me another one. Bring me another one.
Felt like felt like the doggone Wolf of Wall Street up in there, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
got big
Bring me
money
another
today,
one. I was ordering Cavassier and all of the top shelf, Grey Goose, like all of the top shelf liquor. I was ordering all of
man.
it.
Dang. Wow, man, that's crazy.
So yeah, but I'm not much of a go to the casino type of guy.
Me neither.
Outside of poker, that's one thing that I did do quite a bit of at one point. I love Texas Hold'em. Um, I love playing in the tournaments because you only have to pay a certain amount. And if you can make it to a certain amount in the tournament, you at least make your money back and then some. And I was making either the final table or the final two tables quite a bit at one point. And then I went on a streak of not even getting to the, not even getting past the first table. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I need, I need to brush up on my skills because I'm not doing as good as I used to.
Man, I'm telling you, you want to know why? Because
People started
you started getting the drinks, man.
that too, and then I started becoming like because I was going a lot. People started playing me different because you know what I'm saying. They knew I wasn't a pushover anymore,
Mm,
and so once I became like a known entity, then that's when I started having some issues. So that's kind of another reason why I kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna just disappear for a little bit and maybe come back and enter into a tournament. But then I kind of fell on some hard times financially, and then because most of the tournaments that I would enter in were about $150 for your entrance fee. So that's um, when you're struggling, $150 is a lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, dang, man, that's crazy because um, yeah, I'm not. So you actually went and did tournaments. But I've seen those on TV, man.
No,
And
I didn't do those. Now those cost like 5 and 10 grand to enter. I did like the baby pool what versions of that because
you,
our tournaments were only like $150. So yeah, I went to the novice tables. I wasn't going to the big boy tables, but everybody started out with the same amount of chips, and then depending on how many people entered the tournament, would um, you know determine what the when the payout was and how much the payout was and this, that, and the third. But yeah, I did the tournament, and but I did the baby tournaments, not
Okay.
the big dog tournaments. Yeah, I wasn't ready for the big dog tournaments, but yeah, that's kind of what got me started with with No Limit Hold'em, was the things on TV. But that was a good, whew, 5-10 years ago. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Reiterating some 5, 10 years ago, man. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So, what can I get you to work on, to see, if this works for you as far as, are you gonna put your indicators on? Because I know you say you don't really use indicators like that.
Um,
You gonna try out the strategy with the 20
um,
21
I'm
maybe?
I'm probably gonna um give this a shot a little bit just to play around with it. I prefer the Keltner over the Bollinger, but
Okay.
it is what it is. Um,
Are you now? That's what I'm saying. Are you familiar with the Keltner? You
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I prefer the Keltner over the Bollinger.
Okay. Well, I would say add the Keltner because, just like I said, this ain't about.
Even like the Dawn chain, I kind of like it better than the Bollinger.
Okay.
But I have used Bollinger before. It's not like I'm totally against it. It
Okay.
just it's a little less uniform in how it keeps the candles within it and pulls it back than Keltner and Dawn chain. But it is what it is. Um, but yeah, I'm willing to try it. Um, as far as your zones,
Hmm.
um, and you're on 3 minute time frame. See, so this is what I've been doing. Like when I was taking 3 minute trades, my um candlestick time was 1 minute, but I was taking 3 minute trades.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
But I
got
see
you.
why you do it the opposite way, because with the 3 minute time frame, you can see more of price easier, if that makes sense, if I'm saying that correctly.
You can. I agree.
So it's easier to mark up a zone on a higher time frame than it is on a lower time frame, because the higher time frame, it's going to look more compact, if that makes
Right,
sense.
right. Because I normally like when I'm trading forex or binary, I normally mark up on the hour on TradingView, and then I mark the same zones like how I did right here. It's more compact right here, but I would mark up my zones just like this. All I mark up is the top zone, the middle zone, and the bottom zone, and where price is around that zone, I'll make my decision from there. Normally, if it's at the top or the bottom, I normally will trade against those zones. But just like you said, I usually do that, and then just like you say, enter on the three. And how I enter on the three is how I treat the smaller time frames is per candle, because you're only gonna be in there for 3 minutes. So where is this candle gonna go? The longest in the 3 minutes, because you know what I mean, you might even get it where you might trade, and it might be a little these two little candles, right? But you're gonna be only be in for 3 minutes. So you gotta that's where you gotta decide. So the second, maybe you want to look at the second candle, second red candle, because it went from one red candle to two red candles. And then as you can see, it's been like two red candles, three red candles. Um, so I look at things like that. It's like you said, if it breaks out of zone, it's just pretty much like a pullback when it comes to this, especially when it comes to this white line, because I use this in Forex as well. It's gonna always pull back to the 20. Regardless if it's going to go the opposite way, it's going to always pull back to the 20. Um, so I look at that as my entries in forex sometimes as well. Sometimes too is those entries
So
also.
for forex, are you like a scalper, intraday? What do you trade most, as far as like what
Man,
kind of trader
I'm a
are you?
scalper, just like how that's
Okay.
why I said it should be easy for you to transition your binary mindset to forex, Because if you're not looking to be in a trade for an hour, 2 hours, you're looking to be in a binary trade for 3 minutes. So, why not trade on Forex if you want, if look at trading only on the 5 minute candles or the 3 minute candles and trade those per candle. So that's what I do. That's what we do around because see, I trade my Forex, my strategy that I trade around Forex, I trade around 9:30 every morning. So 9:30 every morning is usually when the stock out the stocks open, stock market opens, and pretty much when the stock option when the stock opens, that's when the indices crank up inside the forex market.
See, that's the
So
one that see that's what I want to learn how to trade.
the US
When I
30s,
like yeah, the Nasdaq,
yeah.
US 30s. I
Yeah.
want to trade those because trying to get just 20 pips on the fucking like a Euro USD or something like that. I mean, you'll be in a fucking trade for fucking 4 hours just for 20 pips. But the indices and gold,
Well,
like they
well,
move like hundreds. You know what I'm saying? They move
right,
like 20, 20. That's a pullback. You know what I'm saying? That's a
right,
light pullback. So I want to learn indices, but of course I don't have an indices level account.
right, right,
But
right.
a friend of mine was telling me the other day that there are um and she didn't know like which one specifically, but
I do.
she heard like there was ones that you can use for indices specifically, but they instead of like a 0.01 being 10 cents, it's actually 1 cent. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, yo, what? So she was like, "Yeah, I know. Let me get back to you. I'm gonna get with my friend, and I'm gonna tell you which ones." And I was like, "They allow U.S. traders because that's the first question. Do they allow
Mhm.
U.S. traders?"
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and just like I say, all the people that just trade forex, man, those are the style type of stuff that I did. I got into these brokers to see just like I say, I'm a risky trader, but at the same time, just like I say, what I mean by risky is I like high lot sizes and I like short trades. So I don't have to be in a trade long. I just want to get a big bag and get out and be done. So what I did was is I tested out different brokers that will let me deposit. Just like I said, I'm more of $100 to $100,000 type person. My wife is more of a $10,000 or $1,000 to a $10,000. See, she like to trade with big the big money in her account because she can make a bigger lot, so she's gonna be able to make bigger more on that trade, which I understand that mindset too. But I'm thinking of a mindset of not everybody got $1,000 to put in, not everybody got $5,000 to put in to make all this money, right?
right.
What broker can we start to where a person could put $50 to $100 in there and
And
still
trade indices.
and trade indices. Yeah, I found out there's a couple brokers that do that. CoinX,
Wow.
yeah, CoinX does it. I can see that, and Envy. That's why and that's why I push Envy inside my group because Envy you can put a 1 cent lot on the SP 500, and you can put a 1 cent lot on the NAS. You just have to make sure that your entries are on point. You can't get into a trade too early or too late. It has to be on point. So around 9:30 is usually when the pretty much the stock market opens. That's when pretty much when the indices really open. So when the indices when at 8:30 is really when the forex market opens. So
Right.
you
So
have an hour
where are
gap
you
before the indices are really moving where they need to be. You know,
so
so
where are you at in the country?
I'm in South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, what about you?
I'm in Kansas.
Kansas. Okay, awesome. Kansas, all right. Over there with the Midwest or right around that
Yeah,
area.
yeah, it's Midwest. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
man.
I hate it here though, but it is what it is.
Well,
Low cost of living, like, but there's just nothing to do here. Like, there's nothing going on. There's no culture. There's no nothing. Like I'm an East Coast kid, so like I'm used to big cities and a lot of different cultures and being
yeah.
able to go down and just go, like, you have whole parts of the town that was for specific, like, it is, Asian town, and Japan, and then there's, Germantown, and then fucking the Jewish people part of town. Like, they don't have that here. You know what I'm saying? They
So,
just
so
have
where you
basically,
originally from? Like the north area?
yeah, Philly, yeah.
Philly,
So
yeah,
yeah,
you did say that. Okay, yeah, man,
yeah, Philly.
man, that just opens up so much, man. Like one of my high school friends, I'm in South Carolina, but one of my high school friends that came to South Carolina from Philly, like y'all some cool ass people, man. Like for real. Like
Yeah,
a lot of my peoples that I hung out with down here, down south, was from like Jersey, Philly. We always got into all type of shit. Like I was always get type of shit with them. Like, what are y'all doing?
yeah.
Like
I
jacking
mean,
people.
but y'all, I mean, even though that y'all further down south, I mean, y'all still on the East Coast. I mean, your state is on it borders the coast.
Yeah.
So we kind of have like similar mindsets and similar things that we do and don't do, but y'all are just further south, so you sound different and you have different culture down there. And South Carolina is a very beautiful state. I've been through there several times. I mean, I've been a truck driver for like the past 3 years, and I started out over the road, so I've been everywhere, north, east, south, west. I've been through South North Carolina several times. It was not one of my favorite states to go through, because of the mountains. But it was
Mhm.
better than the Virginias, because when I had to go through the Virginias, I cussed.
Mhm. Right. Right. So yeah, around like between 9:30 or 9:30 and 9:35 is where we look to enter our first trade for the indices. And because that's when they're the most active and most volatile, so you're gonna make more money. And then just like you say, I'm a scalper. So when you see people posted inside the group and they show their profits, that they sometimes most of the time that's my wife posting in there. She started posting her profits a lot more lately because she's just like I said, she like to do the big lots and she only trade and she's disciplined too as well on if she loses, she's not gonna get back in the trade. Like or she has a set mindset to where she is going to not she might have a day where she just might not trade. Some people don't have that discipline not to trade. Some people just want to trade every day. You know,
I, so my whole thing is if you really need that itch, you need to scratch that itch. You need to trade every day. My whole thing is, um, trade a smaller lot size or trade in your demo. If that's what
hmm
you need to do, keep your risk down low,
hmm
because the more you subject yourself to the market, the more it's going to be like, oh yeah, you back, okay, you took some
hmm
money from me yesterday. Let me return the favor.
exactly, because they watching. They is watching like hawks, man. All right, so
So
you said gold, man.
gold, yeah, gold, and Nas,
Okay.
and let's see, yeah, gold and Nas are probably like two of the ones that I know that move a lot, and that, you know 20 pips is not hard to get on those. It's just I don't have the account size, or I don't have the experience to manage the trade, um, to do it correctly. So
Okay.
I was getting ready to ask you. Okay, so you've given me the binary,
Mhm.
um,
We're
and
about to hop into the forex right now.
so how, like, let's say I was able to come up with some money, right,
hmm hmm
to do something else with you.
hmm
What would be the next best thing for me to do with you, so that I could get to where I could be in a situation where I could be learning something that would help me with, like, the Nas, and the help me with gold, but help me in a way, to where I don't have to be in trades for 2 hours, 3 hours in order
Well,
to get.
I mean, just like I said, man, I'm not here to get in your pockets. So I was actually about to get into how I would trade forex.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to get into how I would trade. I just gave you the binary, so taking this gonna be on the video as well. Because just like I said, I got the long zoom. So I mean, I was just gonna knock out some more information for you, so I can show you how I would trade gold. You know, being that the market's not open, I got a strategy around gold on how I made crazy money when I first got into forex, and the reason how I actually came up with the strategy is because I was watching some of these cats. They were from like they were Haitian cats. They were like from Haiti, but they lived in like they came in like inside forex market as for around when I was in IML because I went through IML as well, but I was in IML for a while. Just I was just in there really pretty much IML just for the community type
I
community
couldn't
vibes.
I couldn't maintain they fucking prices, man. They shit was like
Bro,
$300 a fucking month.
bro, I kid you not. I really regret now that on the mindset I'm at now, I was paying that $300 and something a month. Yeah, I
Uh,
know. For like all
I was
last year.
thinking I was thinking that I could get people to join and I get my three and free and
Man, I'm trying. And mind you, now through that experience, I did get three and free. I was getting commissions on people that were signing up, but then it was more of a recruiting game instead of an actual learning the skill game.
yeah, and
So,
that's what kind of turned me off. Almost every single company I went with over time, you would start out as, oh, we're here to trade, and then slowly but surely everything turned into trainings on how to recruit. And I'm like, I'm not here for that. Like
mhm,
that's added benefits. Yes, I see the added benefit, but that's not what I came for. I came for the skill, and it got so bad, especially in Epic. It
mhm,
got so bad to where people weren't having binary options trading anymore. They were having whole Zooms on how to recruit. And
mhm.
like, I'm like, yo, I don't care about recruiting. I just, can we trade some binary options, please?
Right.
And that, that was their specialty. In the little area that I was in, the group that I was in, most of the people that could trade were binary options traders. And so I wanted to be a part of their particular Zoom so that I could get better at binary options, make more money at binary options. And at first, all of the Zooms, we'd be on there for hours, trading, right? And winning, losing, whatever. But then the Zooms turned into recruiting calls and get 5 people on here today and type shit. And I'm like, it just turned me off. And I was like, no. So yeah.
Yep. That sounds about like them. So what I did was is I actually learned the skill or trade, and they and people saw that because I would go come into inside these groups and I would educate people and throw different zooms and stuff, just what I'm saying, spreading, because people really was just on the recruiting stuff and really wasn't on the trading. So me learning the trade side of things, that's when a lot of the big recruiters at the other companies started to hit me up and was like, come to my trade squad, man, and pretty much that. And I mean, at the time, I did that for the experience and just to empower people, impact people, or whatever. And I would end up going to Chadera, right? This is
Yeah, I
right
did
in the
today.
right before Chadera like flop, right? So we went up to North Carolina. He was thought like, I mean, because the deal was that I teach his people how to trade, and he throw people up under me for residuals. So I said, shoot, yeah, I can do that. Like I can teach trade with my hands tied behind my back. So end up doing that, but then it closed down, and then another company comes out called Increase, right? And and the increase is pretty much okay. I pretty much had the same thing going on where I would teach the people how to trade, and then they would throw people up under me or whatever. And I mean, it worked out pretty good, but
So, so what do you got going on the charts right now? So we got what time frame are the candles, and what are the indicators at the bottom?
okay. So this is gold. We're doing it on the hour time frame. We're marking up the zone on the hour time frame. The indicators not at the bottom are the RSI and the stochastic.
Okay.
Okay, so
Default settings on the RSI and stochastic.
yep, default settings. Um,
Okay.
normally on the stochastic, what we look for. You know how to read them, or
Oh yeah.
okay, you know how to read them. Okay, cool. So yeah, and usually when they line up down here is usually when you pretty much enter a trade as a confirmation. But what I was going to show you is just the strategy that I use when I first started with where it had nothing to do with indicators. It was just finding out where consolidation is, right? So we just pretty much find consolidation right there, and we put a box. Put a box right here on consolidation. And how I trade this is how I trade around the news, because I'm gonna show you the strategy around the news. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because it's similar to how I traded around the news. So I'm gonna show you how on both aspects how this could be traded around the news, and how you can actually maximize your money on this just this one trade. And the reason why, just like I say, the reason why this trade is good, this strategy it fits you, is because you're not looking to be in a trade all day. You're looking to get your money, get out, move on about your day. So with that being said, all you want to do is look for consolidation zones. So we found this consolidation zone, right? This candle is not even here yet. You just find a consolidation zones. And more than likely, this was a news feed that came in, right? On why it dropped like that. I don't believe it was news on Friday. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a news feed on Friday that happened. But so what I would do is I would just box in price like this. Main thing is boxing price number one. The second thing you need to do is find out what time the news is going to hit. So what time is the news going to hit? So if you go to Forex Factory usually tells you 8:30 for USD. 8:30 for USD is usually what the news is around Friday. So we're gonna say that that's what it is.
Yeah, my problem is that by the time I get up, it's already like lunchtime in New York. So that's why, trading during the day is kind of hard for me because of the hours that I work. And then when I get off, of course, it's Asian session, which is not the best session to be trading. And I know that. Um, so, and it's definitely not going to be a good session for gold or Nas or any of those. But you do the Asian pairs. You can do those, but other than that, um, it's not really going to be very not a good time.
Well, you talking about the 8:30, right?
Yeah, well, I get off at 10. So by the time I get home, yeah, it's 10:30, and so PM, and so it's Asian session, so the yen and all of
Yeah.
those banks are open, but I know that the Asian session is probably Sydney and Asia are probably the worst um, ones to trade as far as trying to get like major moves or anything like that. Like I understand that, but again, I'm usually trading binary options and I'm usually trading the OTC market, so it doesn't matter.
Right. No
Um,
matter what time. Right. So this is what I would do around the time, and this is how I trade actually. When the news isn't in. So you can actually figure out how many pips you want from this box, and you can measure from this box. How many pips you want to pretty much calculate, and how you would do that. Once you do that, you could put an order in. So maybe not from the box, but from your order. Because this is more placing orders. So you're not really watching your phone too much. You're pretty much just letting the order activate, right? And then you let your TP hit. So that's how that strategy works. But I normally trade that strategy around the news, but it's not strictly just for the news. You might see this consolidation happening, when you pull up your screen and you want to trade. You might see this and just know, okay, well, I got a strategy around consolidation that I can use. So what we would do is we would set orders at the top and the bottom. Let me change the colors real quick. Black line. orders. And then these orders are going to be hello, did you pop off? Hello?
My bad. I hit the wrong button and it kicked me out.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just making sure I saw you popped up in the weight room again, man. All right, cool. Um, yeah, so you can use this in any pretty much any strategy. It doesn't have to be around the news because I know
So with the box thing, do you wait for price to actually pull out of that box one direction or the other before you decide which side you're going to set the order for, or do you decide before?
you decide before all the orders are already set before they break out the box.
So how do you know which direction it's going to go?
You don't.
Okay,
That's the good part. That's the good part about it. You really don't. You don't know if it's going to shoot up. You don't know where it's going to shoot down. You really don't know. So that's why you put in both orders. So your order at the top is going to be a buy stop, because a buy stop meaning that it's going to go up and it's going to continue to go up. And then you can have it where once it activates, you can have it where just like you said, you can calculate from where this actual line is
Okay, gotcha.
up. Maybe you want to go up to this zone. Maybe you believe it's gonna go to that zone. Maybe you want half of that zone. Just like you say, you just want to just make sure that it hits your TP. So let's say we do it at that zone, which is pretty much 72 pips, but it's calculated 727 pips because it's gold. So
Question.
uh-huh.
Can you set now? This might seem like a crazy question because I'm thinking the answer is yes, but again, I didn't get very far as managing my trade in like trading view and MT4. MT4 is usually what I used. I would mark up my charts on trading view and then execute on MT4. But is there a way that you can actually set for it to take you out at your take profit?
Yeah, that's what it does. That's what take profit does. I take profit, it takes you out in profit. So if you were to set your take profit up here when it no, matter of fact, let's do the example that actually played out to be. So I just want to let you know that was a buy stop, right? So the next one is gonna be a sell stop.
Sell stop, right?
Yeah, meaning you're looking for it to sell and keep on going. So what you would do is you would take where your entry is, you would drag it down to wherever you believe you would want it to stop at, or calculate how much ever you want to make, and then you will put your TP right there, right? So let's change that color to
And
green.
then it would take you out automatically.
It would take me out automatically. So by then, I had already made the money that I was going to make. So if you were to calculate that, and if you were to calculate that, that's pretty much 135 pips, right? That's like 135 pips, 130 pips right there. So if you were to put a dollar lot on gold, add zero, pretty much, it would be about $1,300. $1,300 from there to there with a standard lot.
So with gold specifically, what would be your minimum amount of pips that you would want to try to do a trade for? Like 50?
You talking about to actually capture 50?
Yeah, actually capture 50, or like
I
what
mean,
would be the
you
minimum
could do
that you would want to try to
25.
capture?
I mean, you can capture 25. I mean, the market really moves by itself. Maybe like, well, let's see. Let's calculate this. See, gold moves differently. So gold moves about 80 pips at a time. So you probably would want to do 50 pips with gold because it moves about a normal 80 pips to 100 something pips at a time when it does move. So you are talking some major pips, major money when it comes to that. So I would probably say capture minimum 50 pips with gold. and set your and pretty much have your orders already set. So when you're at work, things like that, that would have activated, and you pretty much would have had you pretty much would have just looked at your account, and it would have been pretty much in profit, and no trades would have been open, right?
Great.
So that's a good strategy because, just like I said, you can even catch it on the sell and you can catch it on the buy. And I learned, and just like I said, I learned the strategy between around the news was I was watching some cats from Haiti. They was like trading and this guy will always be trading the USD CAD, and he used to always make about $10,000 in one trade. I'm like, well, how does he know that it's going to move like that? How does he know that that candlestick is going to happen? And it was because of they was keeping that the total thing was the news, because that's when the volatility happens. That's when they're pumping all the money. So it all made sense. So that's when I came up with the buy stop. Well, no, matter of fact, I seen him do the buy stop, sell stop when I was watching his I think I was watching him on Facebook or something like that. And he was doing the buy stop and sell. Like he had like two orders in. I say, well, why are you putting two orders in? Like obviously he didn't know which way it was going to go when the news hit. So that's where I came up with buy stop, sell stop, boxing in price around the news. That's where I came up with. Even without him even teaching me what he did, I would always see that he would make money, and sometimes he would show where he would make money, but then he would also lose money. So that will also mean that the market, activated, one of his trades, before it actually went to his before it actually activated one trade, because that's the thing that you run into with the strategy is the broker tampering with your orders when it knows that it's either gonna go a certain way. So that's really what you run into when you do take a loss, is the broker knows you have that order in, and it knows that the news is about to hit, right? So what they'll do is sometimes it'll go activate one order before the news hits, and then majority of the time the news goes the opposite way of what the order was.
Gotcha.
But that is just pretty much um orders, buy stop, sell stop order strategy that you can use, to test out as well in your demo account to see if it works, as well.
Gotcha. All right. Well, just send me over the information about those brokers that you know about, so that at least I can know about those.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Um, if you can come up with the little spreadsheet or find one or whatever, send me that. Just whatever it is that you think might could help me as far as like on the forex side. Um, you know, I'm willing to look at it. But like right now, like I said, my focus has kind of been on binary, just trying to make that work, just because it's a little bit easier for me to grasp and easier for me um, to utilize with the time that I have, and that I don't have to worry about what session I'm in and all of this, that, and I don't have to worry about pips. But I do want to get to the point to where I can start getting better with forex, and you won't get there unless you start actually playing with it. So that's why I said send me that information. Um, I don't know what else. I think today was a very um, very eventful day. Appreciate you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Um, and I feel like I've learned some shit. And we definitely talked about a myriad of different topics. So that was cool too. And I look forward to continuing to work with you and, do more Zooms in the future. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna let you get to your day, and I'm gonna get to mine because I got some shit I gotta get handled today, and we've been on here for like 2 hours. So
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta.
it. I told you I wasn't gonna stick you to that 30-minute, man. I usually stretch it out a little bit
Yeah,
longer.
I just looked at the time. I'm like, oh shit, I got shit I gotta get done today.
Yeah, my fault, man.
No, it's both of our faults. But I'm trying to get my car ready to sell. One of my cars is ready to sell, and I need to go clean it out, and so um, that's going to be a source of income. Hopefully, pretty soon.
Okay.
Selling that, and I plan on putting that into my accounts and taking care of some business. So, but yeah, I gotta get out here and get it ready to sell because I've got pictures of the outside because